My favourite memories from World Cups, obviously playing in one and playing in the final is, I've got very fond memories of that. They could have been better. If we'd have won the final, memories would have been a lot better. But I think also seeing Sri Lanka win was in '96 was probably a very fond memory of mine. One, because we played against Sri Lanka in '75 in that first World Cup, and that was really their first venture into international cricket. They'd played against touring sides when touring sides came through Colombo and things like that, but this was their first time on the big stage, and they were in our group, and I was quite impressed at the time with their batting in 1975. So in 21 years to go from being real tyros to winning the World Cup, I thought was a pretty incredible performance, and I think just you realised what it was going to do for the game in Sri Lanka. I mean, the game is very popular in Sri Lanka, but for them to win the World Cup and to beat Australia in the final, I've always it's always been a fond memory of mine being at that World Cup final. Obviously, the ones you play in are the most memorable, and I think the semi-final when we beat England. I got sick of hearing in 1975 that we didn't know how to play one-day cricket. The English media kept telling us it was a game for containment, not for attacking. And I was quite pleased that the best two teams got to the World Cup final, but also the two most aggressive teams got to the final. And so when we played England, when we were drawn to play England in the semi-final, that was almost like a final to us, because I was very keen to beat England. And the fact that we bowled them out for 94 was sort of vindication for our attacking brand of cricket. Then we nearly lost the damn thing, because I think we were 6 for 38 chasing the 94, but finally we got up and won. So that's always been a pretty pleasant memory. I mean, beating England any time is good, but it was just a little bit extra special on that occasion, because they kept telling us that we were no good at the game. Well, my favourite cricket ground in the world is Sydney Cricket Ground. It was as a player, and I think to watch cricket, even Sydney Cricket Ground. The thing that I like about Sydney Cricket Ground is, and it's not going to change, certainly, I don't think, for any long length of time. The dressing room that you were changing in, you knew that fellas like Victor Trumper and Bill O'Reilly and Keith Miller and a lot of guys that I really admired as Australian cricketers, you knew that you were changing in the same dressing room as them. And I think that's the great thing about the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's been upgraded to be a modern stadium, and you've got to do that. You've got to give people modern facilities. But the fact that they've kept those two old stands, I just think it's a lovely mixture of the old and the new. And also, when I played, it had the best cricket wicket, I thought, in the world. It gave everyone a chance. And the other thing that I like about it is I think it's the right size for a game of cricket. It's if the batsman hits a good shot in the air, it'll go for 6. But if he mishits it, it stays inside the park. And I've always thought that creates a fair game of cricket. So that's always been my favourite venue. I think Aravinda De Silva's knock in the final of '96 is probably the best World Cup knock that I've seen, actually, at the ground. I mean, we were on the losing end of one pretty good knock with Clive Lloyd in the final when he got 175. But Aravinda, I thought, I always admired Aravinda very much as a batsman, and he was always a terrific stroke maker. But I thought his discipline that in that final was extremely good, and to match up the discipline with his skill, I thought was a tremendous performance. And then to do it in the final. There haven't been too many hundreds made in World Cup finals, but that's always been a favourite knock of mine. Best bowling spell I've seen in a World Cup was Gary Gilmore at Headingley. What did he get? 6 for 14 off 12 overs, and he did it against England, and he did it in a semi-final. So it was very pleasing, but it was a brilliant spell of bowling. I haven't seen the ball swing that much very often, and he certainly had it buzzing that day.